What's up, everybody? This is Ultimate Music Lover Album Reviews. Back with another unboxing. Oh my goodness. I have been waiting for this, to own this record, for a long time now. I can't even tell you how much I've been wanting this record. So, let's open this up and let us get to it. So, I got a little table in front of me that I'm going to leave it on. I wonder where the opening of this box is, because I can't seem to find it. I think it's right here, so we'll just go with it. I would show you like the me cutting the tape off the box portion of it, but it's just such a huge box that I would just rather do it this way. Okay, well, all I hope is that I'm not cutting into anything. So let's get this sucker ripped open. And then, all right. Ooh. Very well packaged, I have to say. And this is my receipt. Well, looks like I have a lot of bubble wrap. But oh my goodness. This is just this is just amazing. Oh my goodness. So what am I talking about? I am talking about the Smashing Pumpkins' Mellon, Collie, and the Infinite Sadness on 4 vinyl LP in this super duper amazing box set. This is really awesome. By the looks of it, this is the 2012 box, and because usually the 2014 box would have a hype sticker that goes right here on the shrink wrap, but this one does not have the hype sticker. So I've heard good things about like this box overall. The only problem with this 2012 box over the 2014 remastered box is if you have a lower end turntable, which my turntable is I'm trying to think here. It's an Ion TT USB 05 XL, so it's like a $100 Walmart turntable. Then this album is not going to sound the best, but it still sounds good. So out of the box, it looks great. There are a couple of corners that got open during shipping, which sucks, but hey, it was in mint condition when it left. So now let's get this thing opened up. As long as I just have the box set, like for me, I don't care about these two little corner dings at this point. It's just about the box set. So on the back here, you can see the little sun work, or the sun art, I guess is what I like to call it. I love the back of the Mellon Collie artwork. It's fantastic. And then I am going to try. Well, that sucks. But I don't know if I should keep this flap. I think I'll just tear it off. But I am going to try and keep this little lyric paper. I think I might even put it in there. But for now, we're just going to set it off to the side. So let's get the records out and let's check out what we're looking at here. So got 2 booklets. So let's put the box down. I hope I did not just dent a booklet already. Yeah, see, I don't know where to put anything. Here, we'll do this. All right, so there are some that honestly sucks, but it's okay. But there are some seam splits on the outer covers. But I mean, after you leave something in its packaging for, it's been 11 years, stuff like that is destined to happen. So this is the front cover of LP1. Then you got the track listings on that LP. So the cool thing is, oh, really? Well, I guess that does not come in the 2012 box set, because I have seen that there are people where like they'll get this custom printed outer sleeve and then they'll get the record in a nice poly outer sleeve. Apparently, that is not the case for this, and you get the records in these sucky cardboard sleeves. So I'm gonna have to change that and go get 4 very nice covers. But so you got LP1 side 1 here. You got side 2. And there are some paper shavings on here from like the sleeve. There's some dust and dirt. There was a spot on the second side that where I saw, yeah, there's dents in this record, which sucks. But that's just because it's been in the packaging for who knows how many years. Like I see a couple of scuffs over here. So all I'm hoping is that that won't affect the overall play of this record. I'm just hoping that that's there. So I'm going to pause the video for a second so I can go get 4 very nice poly inner sleeves, because I love this box set, but that honestly disappoints me that that's just the way it is. But it's all good, so we're just going to go with it. So I just got done getting one of my nice sleeves. I have 4 others next to me over here, but that is LP1 with the 1979 artwork on it. Okay, let's see here. I'm trying to find a place to put everything. Now here we have LP number 2, and I can't remember if this is the bullet with butterfly wings artwork. I don't think it is. I can't remember. But yeah, this is LP2, again in a custom inner sleeve, which again honestly disappoints me, because you would have thought that they would have put these records in nice sleeves, considering the fact that the retail price for this box set at one point was $100. So, but that's okay. So we got side C here, then side D. So this record looks better. Looks like it's got one little itty bitty scratch that won't even affect anything. So other than that, the rest of it looks great. I'm just hoping that this plays well, because if it plays very good because it's mint audio. It's never been played. So as long as it plays without skipping and without being like wherever the little like scratches are or whatever, as long as it plays through, that's all I really care about at this point. I don't care about what the condition of the record looks like or anything like that. I just hope that it plays. Because I bought this album on vinyl so that I could have a very enjoyable listening experience to add to my vinyl collection. So that's LP number 2. Now for LP number 3. This has got, by the looks of it, this is the Here Is No Why artwork. I'm just guessing like what song that this artwork was based on. And then you got the track listing on the back. And then another custom inner sleeve. They replicated the inner sleeves in the original 1996 pressing. And I don't like to touch the ends of the record, but these records are in there pretty good, so there really is no other choice. Alright, so we got side E, and then side F. There are some dirt, like there is some paper shavings on these records. So I'm going to have to clean that off. And there are a few records where I see there's like dents in them. And dents are not that bad in records. I have a couple of original pressings where there's dents in them and I don't even realize the change in sound quality. So I don't think dents are going to be that effective. I think the only thing a dent is going to do is just not be visually appealing, which it isn't on a record. A dent is not visually appealing. But it's all good because, again, I think this is the 2012 box. I'll have to check all the matrix numbers and everything later while I'm listening to it. And now we have LP4. This is the Tonight Tonight artwork. It's got the track listing. And then the custom-made sleeve is green this time. And then this is the very end of the album. Okay, so we have side G. See that little piece of paper on there? It'll easily get cleaned off. And then side H. So hopefully that paper shaving, okay, I was going to say, hopefully that paper shaving is not in there because for a second it looked like it was in there. So that's a good sign that it's not actually stuck in the record because that would be bad. Overall, I am really impressed with this so far. The only thing that I wish they would have done differently was because in my Gish 2021 remaster repress that I unboxed back in episode 1, I wish they would have done what they did during Gish, and they would have gave you the outer sleeve as like an extra, and then they gave you the record in a nice poly sleeve. So apparently the nice poly sleeve only occurs in the 2014 repress of this box set. So this is the original 2012 first issue. So I hope that it's not as bad as people think it would be, because I don't because I think the only track on the whole record that has any kind of question whatsoever is the in groove distortion on 0. But yeah, and oh, I did not even notice the little dent right there on the box. So it's all good. Not everything comes perfect, and I've heard many good things about this box set. So just because I got one that was defective doesn't mean I'm gonna be like, oh man, I'm gonna have to sell it now. So I'll just keep it because now I own this legendary album. And yes, this album is the Holy Grail. All right? It is the best record. I'm going to get this all put away. I'm going to start pulling out my other copies of this album, and then we'll take a look at the 2 booklets that this came with. But so far, very awesome. So I got all the LPs put away in the box. So I'm not going to pull those out again until I start listening to it. So besides the little like ding on the spine there, which actually really sucks, but besides that, I'm actually pretty satisfied. So we're going to take a look at the booklets in a minute, but I'm going to show you 3 other copies of this album that I own. So this is the original. Oh, looks like there's a CD moving around in there. Dawn to Dusk CD. Yep. This is the original 1995 2 CD set. And I'm actually going to pull the booklets out of this one because the booklets that come in the CD is what replicates the booklets I'm about to show you. So yeah, so this is the original 1995 double CD. And then I have a copy of this album in the original 1995 cassette slipcase. Comes with both cassettes. And I'm not going to pull out the cassettes and do artwork right now, but I own this copy, which is my listenable copy. So this is the copy on cassette that I take with me with my cassette player everywhere I go. And then I have the original 1995 long box cassette tape. This is a holy grail. I'm so happy to have this specific version in my collection. So both cassettes in this are near mint. The only tape that I would replace is the Twilight to Starlight, because on side B of Twilight to Starlight, it sounds all muffled and weird. But other than that, both cassettes are in near mint condition, and the only major thing wrong with the box is there are some, I don't know if you can see them if I shine them, but there are some creases in there from age. The only major thing wrong with the box is the wear that it has on this flap. But other than that, I was happy to get this. This is just a treasure. I bought it off Discogs, and there's only 150 something other people that own this specific release, as far as I know, on Discogs, and there's 400 and something that want it, or maybe it's the other way around. But no, this is just awesome. I keep this one put away, and whenever I want to copy this album onto 2 cassettes, I'll pull this out and only use it for copying purposes. I will not carry it with me and play it unless one of the cassettes in this slipcase ends up snapping or breaking or something ends up happening, and I can't get a replacement copy on eBay. But anyways, now let's take a look at the booklets that came with it. So, with my box set. So this is the lyric booklet. Get this thing opened up here. So you got the artwork inside. I'm gonna do the best I can to be careful with this. And then you got the lyrics. I think that's all this book is just the lyrics in, yeah. So it's just the lyrics enlarged. So it contains all the lyrics to the whole album. Then you get to the end here. I'm not going to go through the whole lyric book, but yeah, that's definitely, that's 3 times as big as compared to this little CD booklet, which also contains all the lyrics, but, I mean, look how small the lyrics are. I mean, at least with this big giant booklet, you get all the lyrics on one page, and you get to just look at every single one of them. So that's fantastic. And then in the CD, this booklet contained all the artwork photos and then credits, all the band credits. But this, I've seen videos on people unboxing this box set. This is just way more than artwork. So you open it up, and it gives you from the start some commentary on the album. And so gives you just a whole lot of commentary on the album. So this was Billy Corgan's concept sketch for the Mellon Collie front cover, which is actually pretty hilarious to know that this incredible artwork right here started from this. But, I mean, you got to do what you got to do, right? And then this is where it starts on this page right here. It's when it starts to do a breakdown, song by song analysis. It gives you the whole spill on the concept behind each and every song, and additional artwork that was in the original 1996 3LP, which this was in it. And then there's some more concept artwork right there, and then some more commentary. And then let's see here. Then you just get more concept art. And it's so awesome. Like, I'm not gonna go through the rest of this. I'm just gonna briefly look through, but this really is awesome. This gives you a whole, and then you get the picture of the band completely enlarged on 2 pages from the original liner notes. This is just absolutely incredible. I can't even start to explain how amazing this is. And then after the song by song analysis, I think after that it's just more artwork. It's got the original credits in here, and then the reissue credits. And then I believe this was the cover for when they released the album live, which is just really awesome. And then that's the end of it, and you got Billy Corgan right here in the shadow. and then the back is just simply this. So overall, what an awesome box set. Is it worth every penny? Well, let's see. I spent $189.50 on this. So even if it didn't sound that good, like even if the vinyl did not sound as good as I would want it to, yes, it is worth every penny. I love this album so much. And this is going to be a longer video than most of them because I'm also going to hurry up as fast as I can, and I'm going to do an album review on this album because it's the holy grail of music, and I definitely want to give you all my opinions about it. So let me go get these booklets put away, and then I will come back with an album review on Mellon, Collie and the Infinite Sadness. Alright, so now, without further ado, I have the Mellon, Collie box set away in its little itty-bitty corner. After this video, I'm going to pull it out and give it a listen, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on the next video. So before we hop right into the review, I want to say that I listened to the 2011 remaster of Gish on vinyl LP to that 2021 repress. It's a 2021 repress. It's not a 2011 press. But I listened to that 2011 remastered edition of the Smashing Pumpkins Gish on vinyl LP, and I have to say, what a fantastic record. Like, you just get I don't even know how to explain it. Like, the bass is amazing, especially that kick bass drum, and then drums are great. They sound awesome. So overall, that pressing was a 10 out of 10, and it played really well, so I was happy. Now, without further ado, so Mellon, Collie and the Infinite Sadness. I can't even start to begin to say how much I love this album. It is just incredible from start to finish. Just 2 hours of mind-blowing amazingness. So, I'm going to go track by track with my little slip of paper right here. So, let's start with the title track, Mellon, Collie and the Infinite Sadness. I know you can't really see the words that good, but if I lean forward, then I'm going to fall. So, title track, Mellon, Collie and the Infinite Sadness. All it pretty much is just piano, and then you get a bass note or two, and then after about the first minute, you have an orchestra that comes in. What a good way to start off the album. Like, the beginning of it sounds nostalgic. Like, you get this nostalgic feeling right when you first enter into the musical abyss and you're discovering this music. When I listen to the very first track, with that piano playing and then the orchestra coming in, it makes me think about all the past experiences I've had in my life. And now that I've listened to it for about 3 months now, it's been like 3 or 4 months of just continuous listening, almost. Every time I listen to it, it brings me back to the first time I listened to it and was just blown away by how awesome it is. So I can play the title track on piano. It's beautiful. I don't know how to explain it. It's just, like I said, you get this nostalgic feeling, and it's just nothing like you've ever heard before. Then that goes straight into the next track we're going to talk about, Tonight. I'm started to learn how to play this on guitar recently. What an awesome track. So Mellon, Collie and the Infinite Sadness and Tonight definitely go together. After you get this whole nostalgic feeling, you come back to the now, and the main character is with, let's say, they're with their girlfriend, and all he wants her to do is just believe in him. Like, that's pretty much what the song is about. It's like, hey, I'm going to give you like the best day of your life. Believe in me, and let's live our lives and make tonight like the greatest night ever lived. So, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness, 5 out of 5, excellent track. Tonight, 5 out of 5, excellent track. Now, Jelly Belly. This is where things start to take like the mood swing kind of curve. Jelly Belly is heavier than the first two songs. It's got some sick guitar shreds, and the fact that there's heavy distortion on the record really adds emphasis to it. And at this point, after this main character ends up having like the greatest night of their life, they wake up only realizing it was a dream, and they start to live just thinking like, how ridiculous is this? Might as well just not live my life because it's not the way I'm wanting it to go. I don't know if that's exactly what it's implying, but just from what I've heard of, especially the line, living makes me sick, so sick I'd wish I died, I feel like he's starting to doubt like the kind of turn that his life has taken. And then after that, it goes into Zero, where he loves somebody, he appreciates them, doesn't know how to say it. He thinks that they're the only person for them, only to find out that they don't like me back, and that they're just left to be in love with their sadness. So, Jelly Belly, 5 out of 5. It's just, what really gets me is that the transition from Tonight into that heavy riff of Jelly Belly is what makes me go like, what? Like, it gives you a little shock. It surprises you. And then Zero is also pretty heavy. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5 because I really love the compositions, and there are definitely a few lines in there that I like. Okay, never mind. It's a 5 out of 5. I wasn't thinking about it at first, but it is a 5 out of 5 because I've totally felt that way before, where I feel like somebody is just the one for me, but then only to turn around to see that they don't feel the same way. And yeah, Here Is No Why. Here Is No Why, I think, is an encouraging song, because even though it's all sad, like this is where the huge sadness portion of it starts to come in. I mean, think about the line, "'Cause in your sad machines, you'll forever stay." He's basically yelling to like try to talk to people. He's trying to get help from people so that he's just not stuck in this sad machine for the rest of his life. And keep in mind that when Billy Corgan wrote this album, he was writing this album specifically to be like a therapeutic album for teenage boys between the ages of 14 to 24. And I don't know why that specific time frame, those 10 years, but I think those are the 10 years that most of these people experience like the most downest times of their life, or so they say. So Here Is No Why is a track where he's trying to, or the main character in the song is trying to tell them, hey, don't give up because something didn't go your way, or don't give up because this person doesn't see you the same way that you see them. And that's when, and the line, if you're giving in, then you're giving up. So basically, if you decide that you just want to end your life here, then you're giving up on all the great opportunities that are ahead. So definitely brings the mood for the album and drives it forward. This is a 5 out of 5. Bullet with Butterfly Wings. What a song. So this is a great track. And I definitely feel like that the main character in this song has been alienated, and he feels like he's stuck in a cage, and he can't be himself. And I'm just going to use he as an example because I feel like this is more directed towards teenage boys than anybody else. But like me, for example, so with that song, it basically comes to the fact that he's starting to doubt himself. He wants somebody to believe that they are the only connection that works and no other connection works. But great track, great composition, 5 out of 5. To Forgive. So to forgive is not necessarily implied in the message. It's not about forgiving. In fact, To Forgive is more of a track where this person actually wants to forget everything, wants to forget about their life, wants to forget about just, this person wants to forget everything. And so he tries to forgive people or things for bad things that have happened, but instead he just wants to forget about everything rather than just the bad things. But this is definitely when there's like a calming down point, when after you just went through all this craziness, you just calm down a little bit, and you're dwelling in the sadness there for a minute, but then it goes away and comes back and so forth. Now, so Fuck You, an Ode to No One. Fuck You is actually the subtitle, or it's the title that Billy Corgan used for the name of the song, but An Ode to No One is the actual song in the liner notes. So I'm going to call it An Ode to No One because that sounds more appropriate, because I don't think in the song that the main character is necessarily telling the person, screw you, but I think the main character of the song is trying to send a message out to the person that he loves, saying that he was not expecting them to be this way, and wishes that they could just see them for who they are. And in the end, he starts to get a speculation. He's like, how do you make me freaking fall for you so hard, but yet you don't even care about me one little bit? That's why it's called An Ode to No One, because the main character might as well just say, well, this is not for you, this is not for her, this is not for anybody, because nobody seems to care about me. Love. Now, Love is a song where the main character has a speculation on what love truly is. And when I hear this song, I tend to think that the main character is thinking that love is what they wanted to interpret it as. So they wanted to interpret it as this. They wanted to see it as this. They did not want it to be what it actually is. They wanted to manipulate it so that it was in their own way. But everything so far is a 5 out of 5. All the songs on this album are probably going to be a 5 out of 5. So I'm just going to stick with going track by track. I'm not going to give a rating unless it's more than a 5 or less than a 5. So we'll just keep going. Cupid de Lock. Now this is when the song takes a poppy turn in the album. Like, this is when the album starts to turn more towards the poppy side. I can't exactly explain what the message is, but I think it's just a Valentine's Day-like song where all the couples come together to sing to hope that those people that are single or those zeros fall in love. Um, Galapagos is a beautiful track. Um, Galapagos is when the main character um, is with the person that they're in love with yet again, and he's saying that he's not going to deny anything that comes his way, whether it's good or it's bad. He's going to accept everything for what it is, and he starts to question whether he should fall from grace with the person he's in love with, because he does not want the person that he truly loves to leave him. Muzzle. Muzzle is a great, like, Muzzle is a song where this person is singing out. I don't know if it's to the world or to the girl. I believe it's to the girl. I'm going to get the lyric book out right now from the CD and take a look at Muzzle, because I put everything in the box set away. So, yeah, so it's for the girl. So this song is basically saying that all the songs that the main character has wrote or sang so far, or how the main character feels about somebody, like, he's saying that all of this is for this person. This is all for you and no one else. And he accepts the fact that all things will have to come to an end and that great love will have to depart. And he's begging for the world to make sure that none of those things happen. But in the end, when he understands that the world is complicated and it's hard to understand and that you can't live without certain things, he just accepts the fact that the world is what it is and just leaves it at that. Poor Selena of the Vast Oceans. This is like a 9.5-minute track. This is the longest song on the album. And I have to say, what a song. I like how it's got a progressive rock-like feel to it. It goes up and down. And then you got synthesizer parts and such. It's very incredible. Poor Selena of the Vast Oceans is, like, I don't know the main message behind it. I think it's just another song for another girl that the main character likes or loves. But it's incredible. All I gotta say is the composition is great. Take Me Down. Now, Take Me Down is when this person starts to love this other person so much that they will start to put their faith into that person's hands. They're like, I trust you to know who I am, because I believe in you, because I believe that you are the other half of me, that you can handle my faith in a good way, that you can be there to heal me when I need you. Or it could be the other way around. Now we're going to get to Twilight to Starlight, Where Boys Fear to Tread. I feel like this song, like, I've read up on it and it says it's about Courtney Love. I don't know if that's exactly true, but when I hear the title of this song and I hear this song, the first thing I jump to is there's certain territory that boys' primal brains want to reach, but they can't get there because they know that it will get them in trouble in some way, and that's why they fear to tread in those specific areas, because they know that if they try to mess with their significant other in a way to get what they want, no matter what it is, then it's pretty messed up. Bodies. Now, I don't think this is specifically talking about, like, actual bodies. There is a line in there where the writer says love is suicide. I feel like this is when the main character starts to doubt things again, and he feels like, what's the whole point of falling in love when it's just going to end up being like this? 33. Okay, 33. 33 is my favorite song on this album. It's my favorite song by the Smashing Pumpkins. It's my favorite song ever, and it's my comeback song. If I was dying and I only had one song to listen to with a family member or a friend or anybody, it would be 33. I can't even begin to describe how beautiful this composition of music is. Billy Corgan, I swear, God came down from heaven, put himself into Billy Corgan to write this very beautiful song. This song, the reason why it's titled 33 is because that was the year that Jesus was crucified. He died. He was crucified at 33. The message of the song is saying that this person, whether it's to a family member or a friend or their girlfriend, which is mainly the person they're talking to throughout most of this album, is saying that I trust that when I'm gone, whether I move or I end up being dead and moving on to the next life or whatever it may be, I trust you to be the person that can make this love last forever and make it continue. So Take Me Down was basically the introduction to where they start to trust the person. And then 33 is when they have full trust in the person and when they've said, I trust you to continue on all the beauty and the love that has just been made in this little circle. I trust you to keep it going. In the Arms of Sleep. This is when the main character does not want anything else in their life right now but to be with the person that they want to be with. They don't want to be with no one else but the person that they love. So when it comes down to it, that's all it really is. 1979. Now this is probably Smashing Pumpkins' number one hit song. It's not my favorite, but many people consider it to be the best. 1979 is still a good track. It's not my favorite, but it's still a really good track. Billy Corgan wrote 1979 because that was the year he turned 12 years old, and it was a coming-of-age song. So it's basically a song where he starts to grow up and realize that he's got a life to live. And this is when the main character, whether it be Billy Corgan or somebody that Billy Corgan is writing about, like a persona, this implies that after all of this hardship that they go through, they sit down for a minute to calm down, and then bam, they start to have nostalgic feelings. Or let's say, for example, they go to their old hometown or their old place where they grew up, or they've been to a building they haven't been to in many years, and then they just start to have all of these circulations in their head about the year 1979. Like, they've graduated from college now and they have a family, but then they go to this place and they see and they remember all of these nostalgic feelings. So it's basically a nostalgic coming-of-age song. Tales of a Scorched Earth. I never fully understood this song. I don't know what the purpose of it is. If I had to pick a song on here that was like filler, it would be Tales of a Scorched Earth. But I am going to rate it a 3 out of 5. But I will say that, oh, by the way, 33 is a 6 out of 5. It's probably even a 10 out of 5. It's absolutely incredible. Cannot describe it. But Tales of a Scorched Earth is a 3 out of 5. The only reason why I'm saying it's a 3 out of 5 is because it's filler. it's important to the story, it's important to the album for the album to make sense, because after this nostalgic feeling, the main character crashes again and he starts to have all these doubts about life and da 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 da. But you could easily go from 1979 to Through the Eyes of Ruby. So I think that was just a song that they decided to throw in there so that there was 14 songs on each CD or 14 songs on each cassette tape. I don't know what the purpose of Tales of a Scorched Earth is, but whatever. Through the Eyes of Ruby. Speaking of which, Through the Eyes of Ruby is a great track. The composition is great. And it's basically another one of those songs where they can't really decide. Like this is the introduction to when the main character can't really decide if they love somebody or if they just want somebody. So it's a speculation kind of song, but he's basically crying out to the person that he loves again, that he truly loves, and saying that you are my rock, you are what I built my foundation off of, and you will forever be like the greatest human being to ever live. And then in Through the Eyes of Ruby, there's the Melancholy reprise during the last 30 seconds, which again brings back all the nostalgia. I wish that Melancholy reprise was its own song. I agree with many of the comments on YouTube. I wish it was just its own separate track that was like 2 minutes at least. That would be incredible. Stumbling. Stumbling is great. Stumbling is just basically the track where this person, the main character, spills out their life to this other person that they love or somebody that they're just temporarily with. And they're saying that this is the town that I live in. These are the people I grow up with, such and such. I want to be with you. I want to make you a part of me and just make sure that you're a part of me. So, yeah, I'm not sure exactly how to explain it. Now, XYU, this is another filler track, but I'm still rating it 5 out of 5 because it's an excellent heavy track and it's totally relatable. This is the point in the album where everything just seems like it went out the window again and there's just nothing important in the person's life. And then We Only Come Out at Night, as soon as that track comes in, everything starts to settle down and he feels like that he can be himself with the person that he loves only at night, because in the day they have to act like citizens out in the world. But then the people that they truly are is the people that come out during the nighttime when they're alone and there's no one else around to hear their secrets or their thoughts. Beautiful. Now this comes back to Through the Eyes of Ruby, where like this is when the person starts to really think, this is the person that I've loved for many years, or that I've loved throughout the course of this harshful day. Do I love this person? Or is it just somebody that I want, and do I love this person? So they're saying that both are very beautiful and both of them I could take. But is the person that I really love truly the person I love, or do I just want them because they're beautiful? Lily, my one and only, well, pretty self-explanatory, basically saying that the person he loves, known as Lily in the song, is the only person that he really thinks that is the one for him. And then the track gets into By Starlight. By the time you get to By Starlight, this is when he makes all of his promises to this person, that he promises to be your one. Like, I promise to be your one and only. I'll make you feel happy. I'll make sure that I definitely am there for you in every aspect. And then he starts to think, oh, we have so much in common. Are you just like me? Will this work? Are we really meant to be? And then finally, the album concludes with Farewell and Goodnight. When the teenager, because the whole premises of the album is throughout the day. So, what a typical average 14 to 24-year-old teenager feels at the beginning of the day and what happens at the end of the day. So, Farewell and Goodnight is when they're finally back home and they're going to bed, their mother tucks them in or whatever, or they have nostalgia about their mother tucking them in at a young age. And then when they fall asleep and they dream, that's when the piano outro happens. So overall, this album is incredible. It's a 5 out of 5. If I had to give it a rating that was higher than that, it would be a 10 out of 5. It's absolutely incredible. I can't begin to describe how much true appreciation I have for the album. If you haven't listened to it already, because I've heard songs from it, but I haven't listened to it like ever, or I have listened to the whole thing, I just don't remember listening to the whole thing. But I feel like that October 11th, 2022 was the first true day that I listened to the whole album all the way through and was impressed. If you're watching this video and you haven't listened to this album yet, I recommend that you go get a copy on cassette, CD, or vinyl, or you go on Spotify or YouTube or stream it, whatever you want to do. I recommend that when you have 2 hours to just sit down and do nothing but listen to music, just sit down with headphones. It's better if you have headphones, but if you have a good speaker system, that also works. But to just sit down and listen to this entire album from start to finish, because it is absolutely, in my opinion anyways, the holy grail of music. There has nothing I have listened to so far that has achieved the sonic level of this album. Everybody says that The Dark Side of the Moon is like the greatest album to ever live, but The Dark Side of the Moon does not start to come even close to the amazingness and the diversity and the all. Just, it doesn't come close to the entire picture of what true music is. But this album, on the other hand, does, and it's absolutely incredible. The greatest album to ever be written on the face of this planet. And that is why I own 4 copies of it. And it is the one album where I own the CD, the cassette tape, and the vinyl record. The vinyl record now. So, I'm done with my rant. I do want to point out why I got the 4LP box set. So I got the 4LP box set because it is way cheaper than the original 3LP pressing. And the original 3LP pressing has a sticker, like a numbered sticker on it to indicate that it's a limited press. Yeah, on Discogs, I found a copy for, I think, $550. And then on eBay, I started seeing copies that shipped from Japan going for $750 all the way up to $1,500 brand new sealed here in the US. There's only one copy that I've seen brand new sealed. That's the original 3LP pressing. And Mike, I can't remember his last name right now, but the owner of the In-Groove in Phoenix, Arizona, if you haven't seen his comparison video, I'll put a link down in the description. But he said that he has the original 3LP and then the 2012 remastered box set. That's where I got the idea that I've heard about Zero having in-groove distortion. So, anyways, so he did a comparison on the two, and he said that the original 1996, because it didn't come out when the album first came out. It came out a few months after the album was released. He said that the 1996 pressing does not sound good, like, at all, because the digital like whatever they were using to press the records back then from digital sources was just not good to begin with. But he did say that the 2012 remastered box, even if you own the first 2012 issue, or if you own the 2014 repress, that they both sound really good. And since the album does come from a digital source, it's not going to matter anyways. And the 2012 remaster is better than the original 1995 mix. The 1995 mix is muddy. Like, the cassette tapes, they're recorded with Dolby B noise reduction and not HX Pro, XDR. But it's better to listen to this album with Dolby off, because if you listen to it on, it just does not sound good at all. It sounds muddy, it sounds flat. So they obviously did not do good at mastering the original mix in 95. They recorded the album beautifully, but the mix was just horrible. So the 2012 mix has or remaster, I guess. The 2012 remaster definitely has a lot of improvements from the original 1995 mix. But that is everything I'm going to mention. If you're watching the end of this video, thank you for watching this video. If you want to do some more, if you want to see more album reviews or go into some more deep dives, don't forget to like this video. Comment down below what your personal thoughts are on this album, on the 2012 remastered box set if you own it, and if you have an original press, tell me what you think about that too. And as always, don't forget to subscribe for more unboxings, album reviews, and more. And with that, I will conclude this hour-long video, and that's it. So, thank you all for watching, and have an excellent day, and I'll catch you all on the flip side.